All right, guys, today I want to talk about how you can continually always get better in martial arts, whether it's jiu-jitsu, judo, kickboxing, karate, whatever. The key is to suck. And what I mean by that is when you start training, for a long enough time, you start to develop a set of moves, your game, so to speak. And when you train, you come to the gym every night and you train with your training partners and you go for those moves that you're good at, and the better you get at them, you tend to land them a lot, and people are happy with that. And there's something to be said for that. When you go to a competition, you want that A game. You need techniques that you can rely on right away to win the match or have the match in your favor. But after a while, people catch on, like, oh, watch out for Daniel. Like me, I have very good Kimuras, right, from top or bottom. And a lot of my students know that, so it's even with like some of my blue belts, it's hard to catch them sometimes because they know that I love Kimuras. And it's beneficial for me to just be like, okay, let's go for something else, right? Because I don't suck at Kimuras, but I'm not that great at guillotine chokes. I'm not that great at rear nakeds. I'm not that great at omoplatas at all. So it's good to go after other stuff because we get too comfortable. I see it all the time. You get too comfortable with certain techniques that always work for you. You see with leg lockers probably more than anything. Back in the day, I've been a black belt almost 14 years now. I remember like 2021, I had a guy come in who was a blue belt, but his leg lock game was ridiculous. And he caught me in a couple foot locks. I caught him too in foot locks, but like he kept getting me in heel hooks and everything. And I spent like all the rolls with him defending his leg locks. And then when I kind of caught on to it, when he came back the next day, I passed his guard and I crushed him from side control because he didn't have anything else. He had built up one aspect of his game. He was very good at it, but then he ignored everything else. He couldn't pass guard. He had no sweeps. He had no top pressure. I remember letting him start on side mount and he looked clueless. He had no pressure. I escaped immediately. So, there's something to be said for having a game you can tap people with. He tapped me, who was a legit black belt, and he was a blue belt, but he didn't have anything else. Like my game was more complete. And you have to look at your martial arts game, whether it's jiu-jitsu or anything else, as a wheel, right? Wheels have spokes. And if you have a spoke that's kind of weak, then you have a wobbly wheel and it's not complete. So you want to try to make it as complete as possible. And you have to get worse to get better is the big message here. Because in training, go out, take time and not go for your best moves at all. A couple months ago, I had a student criticize that I kept going for Kimuras from side control. And he said it in a way that made it sound like that was the only technique I had. It's my best attack, but I have plenty others. So for 4 months, against him or everyone else in here, and the man behind the camera can verify this, I didn't go for Kimuras from any position at all. Top, bottom, anywhere, standing, anywhere. I went for just everything else but that because I'm really, really good at it. And it's not going to get worse if I don't practice it. My timing will become off, but the thousands of reps I've done, those still count, right? And then after like 4 months, I came out of it. I started doing them again, and my Kimuras were still there, but my other game was a lot better, right? And getting better at other stuff makes your strengths better. Like me going after omoplatas makes my Kimuras better because the arm is in a similar position, right? Me going for arm bars made my Kimuras better because there's an arm bar off the Kimura if the guy defends it. So there's all these things, and a lot of people, they just get so comfortable having success because when we start in jiu-jitsu, we don't have success unless you come from judo or wrestling or you're a prodigious talent, and those are rare. You suck. I sucked. We all sucked because we're getting our butts kicked. We're getting tapped out by people that weigh 100 pounds less than us. So when we start developing those successful techniques, we don't want to give them up. It feels good to get those taps and get those passes and get those sweeps. But allowing yourself to make yourself get worse to get better is huge. And people won't understand that it's kind of an oxymoronic statement, but like no one is good at everything. Like you look at the best guys in the world, they're good at 4 or 5 moves, but they're pretty good at everything. Dean Lister, who's one of my favorite grapplers, he actually did a seminar here last year. Best footlocker probably in history. It's ridiculous. But he's pretty damn good everywhere. I've learned sweeps from him and passes from him years ago when I took a class down in San Diego that I still use. And I still use them on really good guys. So, you're not gonna, your stuff that you're good at is not gonna get worse, but if you bring up everything around it, it makes you a lot more dangerous overall. But you have to be willing to put yourself in that position. Even with kickboxing, like I'm an orthodox fighter, I stand left side forward, I will switch to southpaw because I'm not good there. I can have offense there, but I don't have any defense, right? Here, orthodox, I have good defense. I don't take a lot of hits, so it's always ways you can improve, right? And your training partners don't have to be high level for you to do this. Like if a good black belt walks in here and we're gonna roll, I don't think I'm not gonna not go for Kimuras, right? Or ignore my best part of the game, because I'm testing myself against someone of my rank and I want to see where I'm at. Now, if I'm just worlds better than this black belt and I keep catching Kimuras, I'll probably go for something else because I've already proven that works. But consequently, if he's smoking me, then I'm just going to try whatever I can try to be successful, right? And you go into a tournament and you play your A game, but it's good to know that if that A game starts not to work, that there's other stuff you have. But you have to be willing to get worse to get better. And if you can put your ego aside, I still feel at 43, almost 44, on a technical level, I still feel like I'm improving all the time in passing and retention and everything. My body's falling apart, elbows, shoulders, knees, just tendonitis is setting in. I'm a big guy, a lot of wear and tear on this body, but I feel on a technical level, I'm still improving all the time, but I can never get my body back to where my technique's at. I'll definitely compete again, but be comfortable, get comfortable being uncomfortable. It's an old saying, and make yourself suck for a little while, because no matter how good you are, there's something you can get better at, right? And if you do that, you're success and you'll just continually improve. So keep that in mind when you guys start training.